like the first handbrake 10 in my life was realizing that no one's coming. I was broke. That's what was happening. Like, I was in and out of hospital for depression. Got kicked out the house a few times.
Do you feel stupid now?
That what?
That you felt like a failure at 24?
I still feel like a failure. Come the point where you make something happen that is at least at a standard where people can congratulate you, you're not congratulating yourself. When we say wait on God, what does that mean? Wait on God. Like chill out. Wait. No.
Nope.
I think wait on God means God will find me on my way.
Yes.
Talking about God will help you. But I mean, if you go under God, even if it's just probability, the mathematics of will I ever make it? If you never give up, you will come across a day where you'll make it. People like me are trying to prove that you can do well with anything you do. It's not about what you do, it's about how you do it.
Episode 30, the Blueprint BA. Pusha, thank you again for always joining us. Thank you for subscribing. We're trying to get to 200K subscribers. I really don't see us getting to 1 million subscribers, but I could say this about like 5 years ago when we were trying to get to 100K subscribers, Benny, you know? Yeah, I could say that, I couldn't see because I was sitting on like 23 subscribers. And I didn't see myself in 100K. So you never know.
Look at you now.
You never know, okay?
Do know.
But thank you so much for being here. Thank you. If you don't know, if it's your first time watching The Blueprint, this is a podcast without any gossip, without any malice. We only stick to people you want to be like, inspired to be, or trying to get to, right? Yeah, so this podcast, Benny, is basically coming in and giving young people who are trying to be in the same industry as you are in, just the tips and tricks of how to get in there. That's why it's a blueprint. So when you watch the blueprint or you read a blueprint, you're trying to get there faster than you would, you know? So welcome, Benny. If someone met you in the streets in a sentence, and I asked you, what do you do for a living? How would you answer me?
That's yeah, it's like an elevator pitch.
I love it.
What thing is, you can't okay, so you can't, I think you can't limit yourself to what you currently do for a living. So you have to encompass your future goals into what you're doing now and then present that. So I would say I transform lives. That's what I try to do. And currently I'm in business with my team.
If I woke you up while you're sleeping and I slapped you and I said, what do you do? Would you stop?
I would say publicly I'm a barber. And then, but literally, like if you woke me up, it's funny because I wouldn't say I'm a barber if you woke me up. If you woke me up, I would say I help people find their purpose and maximize their potential. That's what I do.
Why you guys always have these complications, bro? Back in the days,
it's not complicated.
And I always ask this question. It's deliberate why I ask this question. Because we have evolved to everyone being everything, right? Which is great. I always advise that, right? You can't be just a DJ, right? But if you go to DJ Zintle, although she's an entrepreneur, she does a lot of things. But if you had to go, what do you do for a living?
DJ.
I'm a DJ. Pusha, what do you do for a living? I'm a dropshipper. Dr. Musa, although he does everything, what do you do for a living? I'm a doctor, right? So I'm not saying, okay, let me ask you this. Do you believe people should master one thing before they become everything?
I think so.
Why?
Because, so the idea I'm trying to point out, if you were to ask me, hey, Benny, what do you do? I'm a barber.
Okay.
I cut hair.
First
and foremost. However, I never say that because it seems like it's a limit. And sometimes you always need to find out who you're talking to, depending on how broad their mind can go. If you tell someone you're a barber, someone's comfortable with being a barber for the rest of their life. Or someone's comfortable with making a certain amount of money for the rest of their life. But why can't you as a barber buy cars and buy houses and live well? So always push your mind. So yes, foremost, I'm a barber. But in that, I learned the skills I need to learn to do what I really need to be doing at scale. But it never starts at scale. It always starts when you micromanage something very small. And that's, I think, what you need to perfect. So you always start with something, give it everything you have, and then it expands. I don't think you can be multiple things at once, at least immediately. No.
What did you master first?
I don't think I've mastered anything.
Seriously?
Mm. Really, I think,
So you're a master of none?
no. Yes. How can you master anything? I mean, that implies perfection. That also implies that you can't grow because you're done with it. So I call myself the faithful master, right? I'm not really a master though, but the faithful master sounds cool. But I don't think I've mastered anything. What I can tell you I'm good at, and I'm trying to be better, I'm good at selling.
Uh-huh.
I'm good at talking to people.
Hmm.
I'm also good at finding who you are in a conversation. I'm very good at that. So someone can lie to you, but if you read between the lies, they always tell you the truth.
So what is this conversation going to be about today? Because I need a skill, bro. I need a skill we can break down.
Barbering, business.
Okay. You're entrepreneur. Okay, I know more about you. If someone doesn't know you, he is Benny. Where does Benny come from? And what? Okay, now that we've got that out of the way. By the way, I heard nothing. I didn't hear what do you exactly do, but I know you're a barber.
Okay.
Okay, and you with I've seen you around young people, right? We'll get into that. I know how passionate you are about, touching a life. That's one thing I know about you. Like every time I come in there, you want me to speak to some kid who has.
And you did last time.
No, I'm just saying, you're always trying to change someone's life. Okay. I love that about you.
Can I say something?
Okay.
While you're saying that.
Okay.
So you always talk to young people, and the last time we met, BA spoke to this kid and completely changed your life. Rewind to that, the conversation I had with this kid before you walked in. This kid was not doing well at home. Parents are struggling, things are bad. And him at that young age is trying to figure out how to help his family at home. And then here comes BA walking through, hey, Benny, what's up? Walk in. And then I'm like, yo, talk to this kid. And you talk to the kid. You can't always measure how much you change someone's life. It's impossible. But what you did that day, don't take that for granted. That 10 minutes that you gave a kid, that you also mentioned that you charge for this, but it's free for the kid, that's going to change his family's trajectory just because of that conversation. He needed that. And you were there to give it. So when you do mention that, I just want to put that out to be like, I've never told you what you did. I'm telling you now.
That's what you do.
Okay. Yeah, but it's what you do.
No, that's what you do. You see, now we can dissect what you do. You see, okay. Every time I come on your chair, Benny, you are, I look good after that. You know what I'm saying? I look really good. But let me tell you something. I come out either mentally or spiritually enlightened, right? How do you think that's a gift that you are given, or where do you think that comes from in you? Because anyone can sit in a chair and get a haircut, but one thing about you is that you sit in a chair, and I think this is everyone of your clients could say the same thing. To say they come out of there spiritually, because you know what I'm saying, me and you are Christians, or mentally. Okay. Is it purpose? Is it on purpose?
I'm going to put in 2 points.
Okay.
What do you do here?
Here?
Yeah.
The blueprint or just my life?
Blueprint.
I change, same. I change people's mindsets about whatever they're trying to do, but I want young people to get there faster.
Yeah, but it's a studio, right?
Yeah.
I mean, no disrespect. It's a studio.
Yeah.
This is like you switch this off, it's not there no more. There's no blueprint, right?
Yeah.
But you come into the studio and transform the space into something completely different. So this is a vehicle, but then you pimp the vehicle out specific for what you want to do and the impact you want to have in someone's life. That's what you do with something that is just a studio. You put wheels on it and you make it move and you direct it to someone's life and you change their life. Because when the screen switches off, it's a screen. But when it switches on and you're here, it's impact. So it's the same thing. The second point is where it came from is, so I had the opportunity to go to school, and my family, My family is very education orientated, right? So it's just how we grew up. And my parents, or my mother specifically, she's like she believes in education. Rightfully so. Education is the key. Then I have the opportunity of going to school and having it not work out at all. So you go to school, look for a job, can't find it. The point in which you look for a job, and because it's a journey, you look for a job and you don't find it, but you carry on that journey to the point where the opportunity you can't find, you create. In between that creation of the opportunity and the opportunity you're looking for is a lifetime. So what I do today was molded within that lifetime for me not being able to find an opportunity, having to create one. And when I decided to create one, because I think I'm telling you now, the first life-changing, the first, like, what do you call it? Like a turnaround moment?
180.
Yeah, 180. Yeah, that one. The first handbrake 10 in my life was realizing that no one's coming. It hit me like a bus.
When was this?
So it was 2016.
What was happening?
I was broke. That's what was happening. Like, I was in and out of hospital for depression. Got kicked out the house a few times. Couldn't find a job.
How old were you?
I don't know. I was early 20s.
Let's say 27.
No.
28?
Like 24.
24.
Yeah.
How you get... It baffles me, bro. Do you feel stupid now?
That what?
That you felt like a failure at 24?
I still feel like a failure. Yeah. It's true.
Many ways. You feel like okay, you're hiring people. You got your own spot. That is amazing, by the way. In the Val,
that's good.
Like you know what I'm saying? In the Val, there is no barbershop like yours. It's amazing, right? You are giving salaries, how you feel like a failure when you can not only maintain your life, but you can maintain others around you.
Because it's not at the standard you want it to be. It's not compared to what you're doing. You're comparing it to what you want and the blueprint you have in your head. So until that blueprint is fulfilled, you haven't achieved it. So, like, bro, why are you here? Dude, I see you. You're a hard worker. You work extremely hard.
This is not my... Benny,
no, but I'm referencing it.
But you keep on referencing too much. Let's go back to you, bro. Like, you keep on coming back to me too much.
But it's a blueprint.
I want you. Today, I'll tell you what, you always do this. Even when we're sitting on it. No, it's not about me today.
Okay, you want me to be very honest? Okay, I'm going to tell you. God will... When God wants you... Man, it's a bittersweet thing. When God wants you to be hyper successful, no, He'll give you a period in your life where no one believes in you. The reason is because even when you do something and it's literally like putting a chicken in the oven. Nah. And imagine this chicken has feelings. It's alive. It's like, 10 minutes, right? Me and you agree, sharp, 10 minutes in the oven. And then you bring it out and it's not cooked. So now what's the conversation? Like, my dog, like 10 minutes was too much. Like, I'm not going back in there. And the chef is like, you got to go back in. And you don't have a choice. And you go back in. And you get to a point where you hit rock bottom and then you realize that wasn't rock bottom. It gets deeper. And it continues to happen until you're cooked. You never know when it ends. That process happens to the point where, and during that process, the little accomplishments you start to make. I remember I would walk 4.5 hours to a town called Van der Bijl to go like hand in CVs and stuff and walk 4.5 hours back. And I remember walking back.
4.5 hours?
Yeah,
from where? Van der Bijl to where?
Valdriv. So like there's this town called Valdriv. It's a suburb.
Dude, I come from the same place you come
from.
Oh,
word. Yeah. Yeah, but for everyone, I mean.
Okay,
yeah. So from Valdriv to Van der Bijl is 4.5 hours walk. From Valdriv to town is an hour, 15 minutes. If you pace, it's an hour. So I used to time it. So I know, like I used to try to be time specific to be like, if I can walk this time, I can cover this much distance and this,
Looking for a job.
Productive. Yeah. And then coupled with when I get back doing 20 applications a day with 20 cover letters a day.
Hmm.
Right. And then the funny thing about me is that I think God really custom made my life, because I would get to the door. People would call me for interviews and I would never get called back ever. But I would attend all the interviews all the time. So I'd walk 4.5 hours there and 4.5 hours back.
8 hours.
9 hours. And I remember walking back one day and this guy was off ramping on the R59 and he almost hit me. Right. And then I heard him stop ahead and reverse, because now he's pissed. He's like, bro, like I almost hit you.
Mm.
And as he's reversing back, he parks next to me and he's shouting at me like, yo, you asshole. And I'm like, man, if you only knew.
My
like,
day, bro.
No, I was like, you should have hit me, man. Like, really? Because he's shouting at me and I'm like, you're wasting your time. You should have hit me. Like, I don't want to do this no more, you know? And then, so when you go through that and you have a small level of accomplishment. Now, this is why I paint the story, because my first small level of accomplishment was when I could take coins out my pocket and I had $10 to catch a cab. That was like game changer for me. That was like, okay, fine, but I'm not going to use it. I'd rather walk and then just have $10 for me at least in case something happens. And then, you know, you begin to make like strides, like small accomplishments. And as you make these accomplishments, because you're proud of them, you present them to the people you love or to your friends, whatever, and they treat you like it's stupid, like stop, you know? So those accomplishments are crushed. And that happens through that process where you're being put back into the oven all the time. All right. And that's what God allows you to go through when he wants you to be hyper successful, because come the point where you make something happen that is at least at a standard where people can congratulate you, you're not congratulating yourself because it's not enough. And I say this because it's a bittersweet thing, because it will never be enough, ever. It won't.
For some.
For me.
For you.
For me.
That's a dangerous way to live.
Yeah, it is, right?
It's a very dangerous way to live. Someone was asking me, okay, so secret. People think I'm arrogant.
That breath.
Crazy. All right? You're so arrogant, you're this and that. Because me, if you go low, I take you to hell. I'm sorry.
I believe you.
You know what I'm saying? Because ain't no way, ain't no day I'm ever gonna talk down on myself.
Yeah.
Ever. I don't care what happens. You know? Because I've understood that. That's why I say, Benny, after all you've done, bruh, after all the things when do you get to say, Benny, you're doing well, bruh. Look at this. Look. Just even the chairs that you have, like.
Yeah, the small stuff.
I bought that chair, you know what I'm saying? Like, look. And when your section at the studio where you lay out your stuff, it's like you coming into a surgery, literally. Like everything is, you know what I'm saying? Everything like that's. I think that's how. If I can give you anything before you leave, let me give you this. When I walk into your studio, I feel like I'm going to a doctor, and this doctor is gonna take out some kidney out of me, or something that is just, you know. Because when I get out, I feel that's what doctors do, right? Yeah, that's what doctors do. Doctors would get something that is growing that shouldn't be in your body. And that's what don't take what you do for hair as you taking when someone walks out. Because you got that surgery, right? That surgery desk. And it's got all the stuff. The way that it's so cleaned up and you see, and you're like, yo, give me 5. And that's the thing about you, Benny. Can you give me 2 minutes? Just want to clear this table for you. And this, you know what I'm saying? If that, Benny, for you, no one has ever told you that I have never, and I promise you people have. Someone is like, I've never had this experience in my life. You're not just a barber, bro, like you said. I think you came on this earth for a bigger purpose that you don't even see.
Maybe. Yeah.
And that's why you charge $200 for a cut. Anyway, I mean, I'm glad you pay. It's not even about the money, right? It's not even about the money, but
it shouldn't be.
It should never be about. I think that's why people pay. Yeah. I'm gonna go back. I need to ask you a couple of more questions so that we get into the business side of things. You employing people. The skills that you need to have to do what you do, what is it? If I had to break it down.
Rewind. You mentioned that the place is always neat and stuff.
Yeah.
That's not me, man. That's the team, and I'd like to thank them for that. The skills you need to... Okay, so we're going to talk about cutting hair.
Yeah.
Not the whole philosophical stuff, like cutting hair.
Okay.
You need to be able to love people. That is the highest skill you can have. Because if you have no love, you have no patience. And if you have no patience, you have no fade. Like, you're messing up people's hairlines, you want people to go. And even when you have a system where now you're getting so busy and there's a line behind you, you don't appreciate your people enough to create a system where they don't have to wait. Where you don't have to inconvenience them with lines and stuff like that. Now you need to rush, messing up people's hairlines and stuff, right? So the most important commodity you can have in this business is love. Because love also then transforms you to say, okay, fine. So since I'm doing so well with this, then let me expand. How do I better service these people? And the growth of a business, I think all businesses, but particularly this one is, and it's a hack. This is like your blueprint hack. When you grow a barbershop, you don't grow it on new clientele. That comes second. You focus on the clientele you have. They're the kings and queens. So treat them accordingly. And then once you have them and they're happy, then you can focus on the external. For an example, we have a recurring service, right? So that means it's like reserve parking. So we have an online calendar where you book online and it shows you these appointments are booked, this time is not, etc. The recurring appointments is someone like BA, who's a core client, can book a time every week, Thursday at 4:00, and it does not show up on the calendar anymore. It's reserved, it's yours. No one can. So that the new people that are coming, not that we're not prioritizing them, but we have to put you first. So you're not going to have the same fights and arguments with a new client. You're covered. No matter what happens, you're straight. So you focus on your core. And it takes love to do that, man. People are always trying to cheat the code. Yeah, I want to focus on this, I want to focus on that. Why aren't you loving people? Love people. Just love people, bro. You have a client, love them. Like the people you're talking to, you love them. Love people. And based on that, you'll know how to service them. Another skill that you should have is, because now you love people, the sales conversation you have with people. Because, bro, even if you're cutting hair, you're selling. So a client walks in, how much is a haircut? 200. Client walks out. Client walks in, how much is a haircut? Hi, sir, how you doing? Hey, sharp fit. Oh, sure. Come, walk in. Because the place is nice, as he walks in, it's like he's now looking at the place. You haven't spoken about money yet. Yeah, so, I mean, okay, I get the price, but why did you come in? No, I was walking past. It's a nice salon. Oh, it's a nice salon. You want to see it? Okay, let's walk in. Let's check in the private studio. Let's do this. Let's do that. So now you're communicating the value. Now he sees, okay, fine, this is an awesome place. By the time you get your price, he's like, okay. And you don't do that because you're actually trying to sell to them. You do that because you're trying to communicate that we have put time and money and energy into creating an experience for you. That's what you're selling. And then when you begin to sell to someone, in terms of like communicating with them, you need to tell them what they want, not what you want. I'm the best in town. No one cares if you're the best. Like, no one cares.
Yeah. Facts. Yeah.
No one
facts.
cares. What do you want? What do you as BA want when you walk into a shop? And it's as simple as, BA, you want to cut your hair? Okay. What are you looking for? That's it. Don't beat around the bush. What are you looking for? What happened to your old barber? Why did you not go there no more? Right? And then once you know his needs, then you cater for that. But the sales conversation is, how can I serve you?
Yeah.
Not me bragging about how dope I am. It's how can I serve you? And that all begins with love. The highest skill you can have is love.
I now I want to get into what you're doing, which is, well, you're an entrepreneur right now. You're not just a barber. You own your own studios. You have your own beautiful setup that you have over there. I want to start. Do I start working for Benny, or do I start building a studio as a beginner? Do I first hire out a chair and start from there? Or
Okay.
where do I
as a beginner, you need to understand the nature of the business. So we've had interviews with barbers, like of late, like very recently, who just don't come back. Because the first thing that we communicate in the interview, and it's more, sometimes it's telephonical. The first thing you communicate is you're trying to figure out where they are. And most barbers coming into the game are looking for a job. And unfortunately, the nature of this business does not give jobs. Like, it's not, even if you have a job, it's not a job setup. You get paid for your performance.
Oh.
That's how it should.
Okay.
Because if you're a barber and you're sitting down, looking out the window, scratching your ears, wondering what's, like for dinner tonight, how are you getting clients? How are you promoting your business? How are you moving? How are you engaging with your clients? How are you getting known? Because it's a mutual relationship. It's a mutual relationship. It's like it's symbiotic. If we work together, if I do well, you do well. If you do well, I do well. So I need to push you, but in turn, you need to push me. And that's how we make money. And that's the relationship you have as a barber, wherever you're going to go. Right? So if you don't have that in mind to say, I'm going to hustle, then what are you doing? Like, really? Because number one, Casper, right? Casper wasn't, shout out to Casper. I've never met him. Well, but he's this guy, man. Casper was in Joburg for 8 years before Gushesh.
Yep.
Right? And there was nothing. Nothing. No watch, no house, no deal, nothing. 8 years, nothing. Literally nothing. All you have is a dream. And the dream, you can't even touch it. Like, you can't touch it. It's in your head. People think you're crazy. 8 years. Before Gushesh, right? So it's the same thing. It's like, you're not looking for a job. And if you are looking for a job, go to corporate. Really go to corporate. Because as a barber, people like me are trying to prove that you can do well with anything you do. It's not about what you do. It's about how you do it. So even as a barber, you can live well and make money and feed your family and expand. And
what is well?
What is well?
Yeah.
Well is living above your means. That is it.
Are we going to have numbers here?
Oh, numbers. You can make $1 million as a barber. You can make millions, in fact. Yeah, you can.
Realistically speaking, as a barber,
yes.
I know you make money, but I'm talking about someone who's just starting out. How much can I make per month?
How much can you make per month? It depends on your business model and where you are. So if, let's say, you're in the hood and you're doing a haircut at $50, right? If you run figures and you're trying to do 10 people a day, that's 500, right? You move that by 6, that's about 30,000.
3,000 rand.
Yeah.
A week.
6, 12, 18, 24, 30. Yeah, it's about 3,000 a week. It's about 12,000 a month. But it's twofold. You have return clients, and you have new clients. And then, so you need to find a way, and you need to be able to differentiate between them. How many new clients am I getting? What percentage of it? And then how many return clients am I getting? If you don't run those figures, you won't know, you won't be able to identify the trends. Because you need to understand trends. You need to know when in the week your clients mostly come.
But this is not scalable.
It is.
How?
As a barber?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're making 12 grand a month. But let's be real though.
That's what I want.
Because people don't think this way, someone's going to make 1,000 a month and then look for an opportunity that can help you make more. And that's not how it works. If you're making 1,000 rand a month, you create the opportunity to make more. You don't look for it. You create it. So when you find an opportunity to create more, you're already on your way. It's the same thing as, we can argue this as Christians, but when we say wait on God, what does that mean? Wait on God. Like chill out. Wait. No.
Nope.
I think wait on God means God will find me on my way.
Yes.
Right?
Definitely.
Exactly. So if you can invest in yourself before you invest in anyone, you begin to understand how business works. And you begin to understand how you get clients. And you begin to understand how you retain clients. And then you begin to understand how you charge and add value based on that charge. Because another thing is that a client, you do not determine your value. A client determines your value. You determine the price based on what the value the client said you have.
Mm.
You don't say I'm valuable. No. Me as your client, I tell you if you're valuable or not based on my experience. And then based on that experience, you can then charge.
If you're charging 200 Rand, what's the difference between your 200, like, I know it's value. You did explain that. $200 from Benny, and I don't want to say it's skill, but I'm going to go with that. I can still get a haircut, maybe not the same service, for $50 kokasi.
Yes, true.
So why would people pay that 200 Rand to someone who wants to understand?
That's a very good question. So I'm going to answer that. And if you allow me to take it back to the scalable question you had. Okay. So it is the experience. People are emotional buyers. You buy it based on emotion. People are normally reactive. So it is the experience that you offer. In fact, I think that comes first. You have a stick man, someone drew it and signed it, and it's like 24 grand for like a this big, or a big poster with a stick man can sell for $1 million. It's not the skill, right? It's the experience. When you walk into the art gallery, oh wow, there's lights, there's music, the ambience, whatever. Then you buy the stuff for $1 million, but it's a stick man, right? So the experience is really important. But there's something about being a barber. And I'm going to flip it, right? Jesus was a carpenter, right? Why was Jesus a carpenter? Because carpentry is one of the most honest occupations you can have. You can't lie about that. And you can't cheat it. If you make a crap chair, it's a crap chair. Someone's going to die. Right? Like,
True.
You can't lie about it.
Yeah.
You can't be like, this is good quality and it's not. Jesus was a carpenter. He had an occupation where he could not lie in it. And barbering is the same thing, bro. You can't cheat a fade. You cannot.
No.
You see a fade from a distance, even if you have zero IQ. Okay, let me not be rude. But even if you don't understand how fading works, you can tell. Da is kokol. It's not something that guy fought with his barber.
Yeah.
You can tell, right? So outside of the experience, there is something about a fade that blends. And it's more from a psychological point. That when you look at someone, you think money or you think this person's wealthy. I look at your fades on my phone, like when I'm watching, your stuff. And you can tell. Like you can tell like this guy does not cut cuss. Like Okas, you can tell. There is something about it's like you we can't explain it. But it shows that you took the time to pay the amount of money to make you look different to the average person. And that takes skill. So it is a skill and experience. Now, how do you take that and scale it? The first way you scale from making 1,000 Rand a month. And by the way, 1,000 Rand a month is, in perspective, you're cutting hair at 30 Rand.
Yeah.
Right? And you're doing about, let's say, 8 people a week.
Yeah.
At 30 Rand. That's about 1,000 Rand a month. Okay. Now, how do you scale that? The first investment you make is not in better tools, and it's in yourself. People don't want to invest in themselves because they can't be in a room with them.
When you say invest in yourself, what do you like? What is that?
Educate yourself.
How?
Like, for real. Buy books, bro. Watch YouTube videos.
Are you Benny,
What?
how many times have you told these kids to read books, bro?
Oh, yeah, no, it's not going to work. But that's why it doesn't work. Because someone puts their life in a book that you can just completely
That's what
ignore.
I was saying, bro.
Right?
Everything you need to know is literally hidden in the book.
Yeah. Part of your, like, am I allowed to disclose?
Of course.
Something about you?
No, you can.
Part of your future great success is in books.
Everything is the same thing I was preaching, and I want us to get into this, that reps are not originals for the past 7 years. Now that Chinese come out and they say exactly what I was saying for the past 7 years. And now people are only coming back to me, Uchulu. I'm like, it was in a book. There's a book called Shoe Game, the Nike. It's in there. Like, but it's hidden. To say, bro, we go to manufacturers in China and because he says it in the book, right? Benny, I want to leave here understanding Benny's mindset and blueprint to just life's journey. Kutimile, your background story, it sounds so interesting, and I wanted us to go into that, but we skipped that. I wanna come have you. I don't know if she will allow it. I don't know if, I don't know your team, work with your team, but I would love to have more people like you so we can discuss these things. I don't think it must be a podcast where it's just me and you.
Yeah.
I'd love for you to come every single second week, sit down with other entrepreneurs, and let's see, you know what I'm saying? It can't be just an opinion of one person, second person. I want the blueprint to be, it can't be, BA can't always be the one with the questions, with the answers, right? Or Benny be the ones with it. I want entrepreneurs to come in here and just have a discussion about entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? Because I could be wrong. You could be wrong. Just doesn't mean when you sit there, and I think that's what people think, that the blueprint is whoever's sitting there, they must be having it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that. So Benny, as Benny, right? You're going to come back. I have to have you back. As Benny, as what you're doing right now, you said that you're not complete. But do you think the people around you are happy that you are the leader of whatever you're running?
I don't think that's a question I should be answering. It is a question that you should be asking me, though, because it's more of a self-introspection. Well, at least on myself. I don't know. What I do know is that the team we have is something special, and God put us together. And because of that, I believe, the team we have, and I say this to them a lot, that I pray that they're patient with me, because the team we have is not a team that is running a corporation. It's a team that's building one. And in building that, everyone's dreams are going to be fulfilled through that. So it's not what we're doing now, it's where we're going, and that requires a level of trust. It requires a lot of stuff, man. But I would say, though, I don't know if they're happy that I'm directing the ship. But one thing I can say is that we appreciate each other.
Can I ask you this in a shocker? And ask you this unexpectedly? Because I knew if I asked you this over the phone, you're probably going to give me numerous reasons why you can't. I need you to be the co-host of the Blueprint.
What?
Yeah. I've been looking to ask you this for a long time, and bro, this is not actually your interview, to be really honest. I had to get you here to actually formally ask you without, if you say no to everyone that's watching this, you know what I'm saying? So I just formally want to ask you to be the co-host of the Blueprint with me, because I feel like your questions are going to be so relevant. A lot of people are going to learn from it. This was not an interview the way I feel like about it. So many people would love to hear from you, and I'd love for you. That's why I wore your colors. I wore black. So officially, I don't know, man. We shoot twice, Moose? Twice every month. So every Thursday, we just shoot different types of guests. But I think it's time that the Blueprint starts having a co-host. So can you please join us and be? We'll iron out the other details outside. But for now, formally, can I ask you? Can you please be the co-host of the Blueprint?
Okay, so I'm gonna clap hands for you. That was slick. I think that would be great.
Oh shit, Benny! Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Benny. He's gonna be our co-host for the Blueprint starting from now on. Benny, okay, tell us. Let's talk. Forget I said let's talk. Tell us a little bit about yourself. This is my boy from the hood. You know what I'm saying? We come from Val together. Welcome to it, Benny. So you're gonna be the co-host. Well, mostly, yeah. You're gonna. I know you're gonna come out this is gonna be so interesting for us, Benny. I'm looking forward to it. I couldn't think of anyone else.
Okay, but let me ask you why though? Because
why?
Yeah, you said we're gonna iron out details, right? And I think it'll be great.
Yeah.
But why?
Why you?
Yeah, but before that, why? Clearly, new direction. So what is the direction, and then why?
I listen to my audience. I listen to the comment sections. there's things that you can bounce with your co-host, right? There's certain things I'm not doing that my you can see that my audience would love. So I'm thinking if there's two people, we could both cover that somehow. You know what I'm saying? To say, like for example, people would say you interrupt the guest too much, right? So my co-host would do better. The questioning that I have,
You didn't do that to me, dog.
yeah, no, I didn't do it because I'm listening to my audience. But like you said, new direction. New direction. You can't be doing the same thing over and over. You need to somehow also let go. Yes, it's your baby, but imagine with a big podcast. If you have seen them, Joe Rogan and all of those people, they have people to bounce off to, right? They have, and it has to be someone that, because immediately when you're intimidated by the person or it's a problem, I don't think you're intimidated by me. That's my problem. I've never found anyone who could be my co-host and doesn't see me as pusher. I don't want that, right? And that's one thing you don't have is that, right? You are able to pause where it needs to be paused. You are able to ask the right questions. I believe in you, bro. Like I've sat on your chair, like I said, everyone that comes out is either motivated or inspired. With me, it's just boom, boom, bam. Right? You feel like, I don't feel good about that podcast. You go home just asking yourself questions like, ooh, did I say the right thing? Then you call me, I think we should cancel that podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like people call me all the time like, I don't say drop. I'm like, yes, nigga, I'm gonna drop it. You know what I'm saying? So I want people to go out and feel comfortable that they, you know what I'm saying? They had a good time at the Blueprint podcast. So that's my why. And lastly, just to put it out there, just I need a better direction with the podcast, and because I'm doing code in 4K, so yeah, you be my co-host. There will be a time where we don't even have a co-host. We just have 1-2 people that are not be a pusher and running the blueprint. It must run. There must be kids like him who jump on. You know what I'm saying? And interview other entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for now, it's just let's co-host. Let's see how it goes. Let's have more shows. Let's build networks where we have young people jumping on those networks. Same way that Podcasters in Chill is doing. Same way as other people are doing it. We need to have, if you have a platform, it can't just be your platform, right? It must be a platform that grows. And I think it's time. It's time. Okay. And I think these guys are sick and tired of me by now. So you never know. Yeah, but welcome. Okay. Welcome to it. Thank you so much for agreeing, bro. You don't know how much that means to me. Really? It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. Welcome to the team. I'm going to introduce you to the team after we are done here. So welcome to it. This was not your interview, by the way. It was just to get you here. Okay. Yeah, we'll get into the interview. Yeah, that. All right, guys. Welcome, Benny. Please do fire emojis in the comment section. We're going to have more of him. You're going to hear more of what Benny thinks, his thoughts, and everything else. And there's going to be a big change when it comes to the blueprint. Like I said, we've got a co-host. There'll be a number of entrepreneurs. We also want to start interviewing the people in the 9-to-5 corporate industries and just hear how is it running 2 jobs at the same time. Because someone would be running a corporate, would be in corporate business, but running a take-a-lot business, you know, just juggling those type of things, getting streams of income. How do you diverse your stream of income? How do you, because you can't have one stream of income. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Okay. How are you feeling?
Yeah, we're good.
He's shocked. He's like, why did I say yes?
No,
you know, yeah?
We good.
Are you sure?
I'm thinking.
You're thinking? Yeah. I can see you're quiet, eh?
Yeah.
No, honestly, like, come on. Yeah?
Good thoughts.
Good thoughts.
No, like, hey, man, when you, bro, like, I'm
you really think about, projecting.
I'm trying to figure things out. Okay.
Last thing in that thing, that's your camera. We're about to shut it down.
Okay.
In that camera.
Can I wrap everything up?
Yes, sir. Yes, please.
We spoke about skills. We spoke about talents. We spoke about scalabilities. There's a lot of points that we started that we didn't finish. In a nutshell, and that's a shell put together, the highest skill you can have, remember we said love in a business, I get that, but above that, the highest skill that you can have to achieve anything in life is the courage to never give up. Because even if you play a probability game, if you run 10,000 hours, if you run 10,000 failures, you're going to come on one success. And that one success could put you on. Have the courage to never give up. courage is the highest quality, even to God. Go read your Bible. Not failure, but cowardness is the worst thing you can be as a person. When you fear so dreadfully that you're paralyzed by it and you can't move. Courage is not being scared. It's doing something in the midst of fear. If you're brave enough, do what you have to do, regardless of how long you have to do it. Because remember, on your journey to success, why people quit is because the price changes. When you start, it's 10 rand. But 10 years down, it's 10 million. And the price changes every day. Can you keep going? Can you be strong enough to say, I won't quit? And if you can do that and never quit, ever, even from, bro, we're not even talking about God here. We're talking about God will help you. But I mean, if you go under God, even if it's just probability, the mathematics of will I ever make it? If you never give up, you will come across a day where you'll make it. Just keep going. That's it. Keep going. Just keep going.
What's your surname, Benny?
Jensen.
Jensen. Are you what nationality are you?
I'm colored.
Nah?
Yeah, but it's a long story. I'm like a...
we're gonna break it down. I get you're here now. I'm gonna start asking you these questions.
Yeah, why do you ask?
No, because you look like Connie Ferguson's...
bro, why people keep saying
I'm
that,
telling you, when you walked in, they thought it was you. They
Really?
thought you walked... Yeah, people like, yo, Connie Ferguson's...
It's back from the dead.
You know what I'm saying? That nigga... Yeah, bro. Like, yeah, you look like that nigga. Yeah,
I saw him once. He's such an amazing guy, man.
Like you.
Wow.
Like, you guys are, like, similar. Like, everything about you guys. That's why.
He's working.
And you candy to the cameras. So maybe we'll have more ladies watching the podcast. It's the Blueprint episode 13. Thank you so much, Benny, for coming. Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon. And we are... Thank you, Benny.
You're a G, dog.